It's the twilight hour, and welcome to our first day of reading the rough draft for the book, My Ancestor Speaks, The Life, Death, and Spirit of Emmett Till. So we're having a reading of a couple of intros that I developed. At this point, we're at the editing stage of the book, a book now of 175 pages. I welcome your comments and input. You can be beta readers, those individuals who get glimpses of an author's work beforehand and offer feedback. So we're going to start with a couple of intros, and the first one goes like this. Emmett Till opening. This book is a labor of love. It purposefully, through words, attempts to catapult your senses beyond the pages. The many moments from which you arrive shall be those same moments of no return. The narrative leaning to the emotionality of such a story, it's perilous, much like the true life events that occurred during Emmett Till's journey. He traveled deep down south in America as a child of 14. He was a child of African descent, descending upon a smallest of towns in 1955. The recall of journey is bathed in intent. Time travel and taste the bowels and recesses of the Jim Crow era Mississippi Delta of 1955. Engage and become enraged as due. Try as you may to find relief from falling into the depth of oppression far as the eyes can see in the mist of the Mississippi Delta. It is no surprise that Mississippi is the birthplace of the deep down Mississippi Delta blues. My payment of literary homage to Emmett Till includes information from online and book research, and conversations with those learned about the life of Emmett Till. So, here I am, my long-awaited journey to bring a real-life journey to this entry point, ... Here we are, going into the past of all who think of Emmett Till as a forever soul. He is one worthy of keeping his life story alive through conversation, writing, and all other modes of communication. That's intro number one. Next, intro number two. One of two possibilities. Going against another intro that is already aligned with, considered even finalized in writing about Emmett Till. So these are the two that were kind of put to the side, and I thought that the third one I have, that's the beginning of the volume of pages, would be the go-to, but that consideration was without a lot of input. So this is purposeful, that I read and get your feedback as we pay homage to Emmett Lewis Till, whose birthday is July the 25th. So there will be a reading every day, 20 installments throughout the month. We will celebrate the life, the spirit as it lives beyond his death. Intro number 2, let's go. Once you have heard the story of Emmett Till, that is one story that you once heard, never ever will forget. Not even if you try. The name Emmett Till and the story deeply impacts the senses. It affects the heart, if a heart belongs to you. Emmett Till was not prepared for his light-hearted, boyish nature, for the heartlessness common to those an 8-hour train ride south to Money, Mississippi. The crevices of the heart where little oxygen ever reaches, that part without the benefit of sustenance for the health of the heart, humanity, and holistic life. Which is what we might interpret as the definition of the soulless. Next paragraph. 1955 Money, Mississippi could be likened to the residual and bitter product of a broader American experience or attitude towards Africans of America. The social economic disparity, like still today, far too large a gap between the masses and a hate-filled makeup of a sovereign nation, America. The steady daily Southern diet of invented racial vulgarities by law and manner was concretely established in the American South. The environment and its guardians of oppression helped erect and secure as best possible, to extend as long as possible, a post-slavery, pseudo-slavery in the form of Jim Crow. Next paragraph. The death of Emmett Till produced, with the help of mass media, a vivid bookmark in history from which all could get a glimpse into American historical as well. Modern day atrocity. His single horror story proved to resonate even beyond the pale of being emblematic of how awful the South could be for a Negro. The example of how a jovial youth coming of age can easily get snuffed out. The Anglo-Saxon classes witnessing Negroes seemingly attempting to exercise freedoms and test written and unwritten laws of the land, too much for the abrasive resolve of men, but barely. His destruction was not a novel act in an America which chronicle upon chronicle of human sacrifice as a repeating common denominator. For the African of America, for being Africans of America, looking beyond the gaze of white supremacy, such would be met with the counter-reaction of economic deprivation, physical intimidation, terrorism, and death. In 1950s Money, Mississippi, the social blueprint outlined life-threatening diminishing returns for what seemed to be, for merely existing within the confines of the supremacist social system. Emmett Till was a victim of circumstance. If not Emmett Till on August 28, 1955, there would have been, and there were others, murders of innocent people. They were human casualties of a war against Negroes. the existence of sort of a free-willing nationalistic figure which imposed itself upon the personhood of African descendants, all designed with repression in mind. The repression could be likened to the 9 areas of human activity by Neely Fuller. They are areas of economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, sex, and war. To have a system down south or anywhere which controls these elements of human life is to control life. Our next area is a prologue. So we've covered 2 intros and a prologue, a hint of what is to be presented in the book is as follows, and still questionable, but as it exists, it reads like this. Well, you know, you put off writing a book, call it writer's block. Call it what you like. And some of that is true. One truth is when the Spirit hits you, awakens you to a destiny, you know the time is right. It's writing time. Just today, May 14, 2020, after days, weeks, months, years of deep contemplation on the state of a land with implications upon its people in so many different ways, many of them ways I shudder to believe are the only reality for a lifetime. I reflect on how one individual named Emmett Till, like I, were a part of this same reality. A very big occasion in 1955 occurred. For me, I was born in 1955. On August 25th, 1955, Emmett Till was killed.